I'm a big fantasy nerd. I love swords and sorcery. I just love it so much. I grew up reading fantasy books. That was like most of my childhood. I just love it. Fantasy movies and fantasy shows are great. I just love fantasy books. They're my favorite thing to read. Currently, I am reading the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan, and if you haven't read those, I would recommend them. They're really good so far. I'm on the 3rd book. There's like 14. My favorite fantasy book series of all time is the Shannara series, or should I say the Shannara universe, because there's a crap ton of books. Terry Brooks started writing this series in 1977. He's still writing them to this day. It's basically this entire universe that Terry Brooks has created, and each little series is a different generation within this universe, usually revolving around the Shannara family. These books are my favorite. I started reading them in 6th grade, and I read them basically all through junior high school into a little bit of high school as well. I basically read all of the ones he wrote up until about 2010. Imagine my excitement when in about 2014 or 2015 they announced that they're making a TV series of the 2nd book in the original trilogy. I was so psyched. And the first trailer dropped and it looked amazing. And then the 2nd trailer dropped and it still looked amazing. And then the 3rd and 4th trailers came out and I was a little bit more skeptical. And then I watched the show, and the first episode I was like, yeah, this is pretty good. It's just a lot different than the books, right? Yeah. Then I keep watching it and I start not liking it. By the end of the first season, I was pretty much disappointed. I had a very love-hate relationship with the series. If you followed my other YouTube channel at all, you know that when I first did Film Rants, it was on that channel, and my first ever Film Rants video was a review of Shannara Chronicles Season 1. If you've watched that, you know that I had a lot of negative things to say about it, and if you want to know my exact thoughts, you can watch that video. Anyway, right after the first season ended, we learned that it was renewed for a 2nd season, which at first I was super excited about, because then it's like, okay, it's new characters, it's a whole new book. In the original trilogy of Shannara, each book had a different set of characters, the descendants of the previous characters of the previous book. So I was really excited about that. But no, they're not doing that. The 2nd season of Shannara Chronicles is not actually based on a particular book in this series. It's just in this universe. So there are a lot of directions that can take the show. Many of them not being good. Recently, the first trailer for Shannara Chronicles Season 2 came out, and now I'm here to talk about it. This is going to be a long video. Okay, so this trailer opens up and we start off with a couple of shots and then we get Skull Mountain, which definitely implies Warlock Lord. But according to literally all of the universe in the books, the Warlock Lord is dead. So right off the bat, we're seeing that this show is going to take things in a very new direction. Definitely different from the books, which the first season did that as well. It was not really based on the 2nd book of the series. It was really just inspired by it. With showing the Skull Mountain and all of that stuff, it basically shows that they're using the wider Shannara universe and all the other Shannara books and basically jamming them into this season, which I don't know. It's good that they're not literally making up their own things to add into the universe. So it's good that they're using elements from the universe in the series, but they're completely doing it out of canon, out of order, out of everything, basically. I love the Warlock Lord. The Warlock Lord is a pretty good villain. He's a lot like Sauron. That's probably my only negative about him. But as a whole, the Warlock Lord is a classic Shannara villain to me. So hopefully, since he's probably going to be in this season, I hope that they do it right, at least. Next, they show the Sword of Shannara. So yeah, they're definitely doing their own thing. I think having the Sword of Shannara could be pretty epic also. I love the Sword of Shannara. It's just a classic part of Shannara lore, and it's great. I just hope they don't mess it up, which they probably will. We also get our first look at Garrett Jax, the Weapons Master. Garrett Jax is a great character in this universe. He also shows up in another book as Steve Jans. I'm pretty dang sure they're the same person. Terry Brooks has all but confirmed that they are the same person. Anyway, that's just a bunch of Shannara nerd stuff. Garrett Jax is a great character. I hope they do him right. It looks like they're probably not going to. When I first saw them cast whoever this guy's name is for Garrett Jax, I actually was pretty excited. Garrett Jax is not black in the original canon, but this actor is, and I actually thought that was a nice touch to it because the way that the actor looked, and I've seen him in some other things, and I was like, hey, that could actually really work. But after now seeing him in the trailer, they're not doing him right, I don't think. He just doesn't look like the Weapons Master. He doesn't. I mean, that's basically it. Even his character, we only get one line from him in the trailer, and it's kind of one of those roguish kind of Han Solo-like lines, and that's not who Garrett Jax is. One of the positives I did notice throughout the trailer though was that the CG looks amazing again. One of the main pluses of the first season of Shannara is that they really made everything look really good. This whole world, they filmed in New Zealand and they used a lot of CG to touch it up and just make it look like a post-apocalyptic fantasy world, and it's really good. Also in the trailer, the stunts looked really good, which was another plus of the first season. I thought the stunts were really well done for television. Same with the CG. It was a very well shot and a very good looking show, which it looks like that's gonna happen again this time. It looks like we got a couple new female characters. I'm not sure if it's 2 or 1. From when I watched the trailer, I watched it probably 4 or 5 times. There was at least 1 new girl character. I'm not sure if there's 2 or not. Maybe it was just her dressed in different ways and with different shots, so I thought it was 2 people and maybe it's the same person, or it could be 2 different new characters. Either way, it looks like we have 2 different female characters coming in. I don't know who they are necessarily. They could be book characters. They probably aren't though. They probably are characters that they made up for this show. We also see Eritrea kicking butt and taking names again, which is pretty cool. That was a good part of the first season. But also, once again, she's bi. I mean, she was in the first season. That's fine, I guess. I don't know. Literally in the books, there's no inkling of any romantic relationship except for the one with the main character, Will. There's no other past relationships mentioned in the book. There's no romantic past whatsoever that is even hinted in the book for Eritrea. And then for some reason in the first season they made Eritrea bisexual and have a past romantic element come in who was a girl. None of this makes any sense to me, really. Maybe just because it was MTV. I don't know. Trying to appeal to an audience, I guess. Either way, it looks like that's playing into this season again. I just, it's so weird. It's so different. I don't, it honestly, to me, it goes against the character of Eritrea as presented in the books. But then again, everyone in the first season basically went against their character of them in the books. They were basically all new characters. Same name, same looks, different actions and motivations. So, I also noticed, Will has better hair now. That's good. He had really long surfer dude hair in the last season. I like his haircut now. Even though I am pretty sure styling gel was never mentioned in the Shannara books whatsoever, it looks like he's started to use it though. I don't really care if it goes against canon or whatever. At least he has good looking hair now. Farther along in this trailer, I'm pretty sure they show the Warlock Lord. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be the Warlock Lord. If it is supposed to be the Warlock Lord, he looks pretty okay. The makeup looks good. In the books, he's actually described completely differently, but of course, you know, they're not going by how they describe them in the books. So I think he looks fairly good. We see trolls knocking people off bridges with a cool slow motion far away shot. That's neat. We also see Al-Anon throughout the trailer. He was one of the things I liked in the first season. Sure, he does not look like he does in the books as he's described it. He just doesn't. He's not tall enough. He's not wearing a robe. He's not super imposing, but Manu Bennett actually plays the character pretty close to the books, and he plays the character very well. His screen presence is very imposing. Yeah, he was probably Manu Bennett's Al-Anon was my favorite part of the first season of Shannara. So if there's one thing I'm excited about for this next season is actually Manu Bennett. And finally, at the end, they show Amberly, which is interesting. She is supposed to be a tree right now, but maybe she isn't. All I know is they showed her like falling in water. I really hope they don't do something dumb and make it so that she's back in this series and is back in human form. That's dumb. That doesn't happen in the books. That really doesn't make any sense. I hope it's mostly visions to Will, maybe haunting him as to what happened, because I think he probably feels guilty about this. If they do it right, Will feels guilty about lots of the events that happened at the end of the first season. So yeah, I hope they don't do anything stupid with that. They probably will. But yep, so that's about it as for what I saw in the trailer and what I noticed and what I am excited about and what I am not excited about. Mostly what I'm not excited about. But we'll see. I'm gonna watch it anyways because I'm such a big fan of the books that I kind of feel guilty not watching it. And who knows, maybe it could be good. It would be a miracle, but who knows. The first episode premieres on October 11th, which is a Wednesday at 10 o'clock p.m. It's on Spike. If you like this video, this was probably the first time I've ever actually ranted on Film Rants. It was a very sarcastic rant. If you like this video, I would encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe, and also to check out more of my videos. Until next time, have a great week. See ya.